Hydrometeorological hazard are danger associated with the natural process or phenomena involved in the transfer of water and energy between the land surface and the lower atmosphere. The energy and water released from one area to another causes impact that may be challenging to communities living within the vicinity of the occurrence. Among the hazards associated with this are typhoons. We have typhoons, thunderstorm, flash flood, storm surge, tornadoes, El Nino, and La Nina. Yeah. Let's move by typhoon. Typhoon or bagyo in Filipino are intense circulating winds and heavy rain over tropical waters and land. Typhoon are actually tropical cyclone whose winds have reached more than 118 km per hour, which is why described as intense. Natitawag ang tropical depression or TD, up to 61 km per hour. Tropical storm or TS, 62 to 88 km per hour. Severe tropical storm STS, 89 to 117 km per hour. Typhoon, 118 to 220 km per hour. Super typhoon, exceeding 220 km per hour or STY. A thunderstorm, also known as electrical storm, is a storm characterized by heavy rain with the presence of thunder and lightning. Thunderstorm may not have strong winds in contrast with typhoon. Thunderstorm happen because there is an even distribution of heat in the air and on land. Thunderstorm usually in summer because of atmosphere high humidity and high temperature. The lightning comes from separation of charged particles in the clouds.
Flood. A flood is the presence of excessive water on supposedly dry land. It can be caused by continuous heavy rain or poor drainage. Usually low-lying areas are prone to flooding because they receive all the water coming from the higher elevations. A flood can develop in many ways. The most common is when rivers or streams overflow their banks. These floods are riverine floods. Heavy rain, a broken dam or levee, rapid ice melt in the mountains, or even a beaver dam in a vulnerable spot can overwhelm a river and send it spreading over nearby land. Flash flood. A flash flood is a rapid flow of water on saturated soil or dry soil or any foundation that has poor absorption capability. This usually takes place in slopes such as mountains, volcanoes, and waterways where the peak of maximum force takes place downstream. Flash flood. A flood caused by heavy or excessive rainfall in a short period of time, generally less than 6 hours. Flash floods are usually characterized by raging torrents after heavy rains that rip through riverbeds, urban streets, or mountain canyons, sweeping everything from before them. Storm surge. A storm surge is an abnormal rise in the coastal waters due to a massive force from the sea or from the air above the sea. Storm surges can be caused by a strong typhoon or a sea quake. The force from the strong winds of a typhoon or from the movement of sea bottom from a quake force the seawaters towards the shore, sometimes generating huge waves capable of destroying seawalls and other structures near the shore. Example of storm surge in the Philippines. The Philippines Metro Manila experienced a storm surge caused by Typhoon Pedring in September 2011. When the seawalls of Manila Bay were destroyed and the U.S. Embassy and Sofitel Philippines Plaza were submerged in flood waters.
A tornado. Tornado and whirlwind. A tornado is a rapidly rotating column of air that is in contact with the air and land. Its rotational movement is violent that it can pick up objects from the ground and sling them away at far place. According to Pag-asa, 2011, an average of 12 to 24 tornadoes hit the country every year, mostly occurring in flat terrains such as Mindanao and Central Luzon, especially Nueva Ecija and Bulacan. Tornadoes form when there are strong winds and low thunderstorm clouds. Temperature changes in global climate system. El Nino and La Nina are both natural parts of the global climate system. These events occur in the Pacific Ocean when the waters in the atmosphere above it deviate from their normal temperature. El Nino is usually associated with the warming of the central and tropical waters of the Pacific Ocean, whereas La Nina would have the exact opposite, which is the cooling of the same areas in different seasons. El Nino. The El Nino phenomenon refers to the large-scale warming of the ocean and atmosphere across the central and east central equatorial Pacific. La Nina begins in the eastern part of the Pacific Ocean, much similar to the location of El Nino. The sea surface temperatures during this period become lower by 3 to 5 degrees Celsius. Cyclones formed during this time shift westward, going to the direction of China, and affect the Philippines is affected by the excessive rainfall and cold temperature. Natitawag nga tools of monitoring hydrometeorological hazard. Natagitawag nga Doppler radar, used to measure important weather parameters such as amount of rainfall and direction, speed, and intensity of winds. These data are used to forecast weather condition in upcoming typhoons weeks before the occurrence. Automated rain cage, usually installed in a telecommunication cell site to observe and locate areas with excessive amount of rainfall. This is usually the take for possible flooding and flash flood.
Before any hydrometeorological hazard, number 1, store enough food, drinking water, and medicine. Foods that require little or no preparation and do not easily spoil are ideal. Number 2, have a working flashlight, spare batteries, candles, and matches ready. Electric power may be cut off by the hazard or by the authorities as safety precaution. Number 3, meet with all members of your family and make plans of vacation to a higher or safer ground, especially if you live in low-lying area or near a pass, river, or creek. Number 4, reinforce the roof, windows, and structural supports or foundation of your house to withstand strong winds or water current. Make sure your roof are secure, held, and that there are no leaks. Number 5, transfer variables, application, and furnitures to a higher ground, especially if your place is food prone. Number 6. Participate in cleanup activities to clear waterways such as canals, ditches, creeks, stream, and river of waste or garbage. Number 7. Remove dead or rotting trees and branches that may fall and can be carried away by water current. During any hydrometeorological hazard, number 1, if there is no advice to evacuate, stay indoors, keep calm, and not go to isolated or open areas. Number 2, listen to weather updates by Pag-asa and advisories by the NDRRMC. If the electricity is out, use battery-powered radios. Number 3, if you see any signs of water rising, unplug any electrical equipment and switch off the main circuit breaker or fuse box. Number 4, move to a safer ground and evacuate as advised by local authorities. Wear protective clothing as you move to the evacuate site. Number 5, bring basic necessaries such as food, drinking water, and extra clothes and medicine to evacuate site. Number 6, beware of often electrical cables that can electrocute when in contact with water. Power surges from lightning can cause serious damage. Number 7, do not go near windows and doors. After any hydrometeorological hazard, number 1, wait for any announcement from local authorities as to whether it is safe to return home or not. Listen to weather updates or advisories from local authorities. Get information on which reasons are still not possible or acceptable, and avoid going to this place until cleared of any obstructions. Number 2, report falling power lines or cracked roads to local authorities. Number 3, check your house for any damage and do needed repairs immediately. If your house is heavily damaged, leave the area immediately. Do not go back until it has been examined and declared safe by a professional engineer or architect. Number 4, watch out of live wires or any electrical outlet immersed in water. Have a licensed electrician or knowledge of person inspect electrical connection and appliances before you use them. Number 5, boiling water before drinking as it may be communicated. Tools for monitoring hydrometeorological hazard. Weather observation station use variables and instruments to monitor, gather data on hydrometeorological hazard. Some of these instruments are the following: Doppler radar, used to measure important weather parameters such as amount of rainfall and direction, speed, and intensity of winds. These data are used to forecast weather conditions and upcoming typhoons weeks before the occurrence. Automated rain gauges, usually installed in telecommunication cell sites to observe and locate areas with excessive amount rainfall. This is used to detect for possible flooding or flash floods. Natural signs of impending hydrometeorological hazard. Most of the hydrometeorological hazard can be heard seconds before they reach search your area. Rumbling sounds and usually indicate the coming of tornado, flash floods, and storm gusts. For the other atmosphere hazards such as typhoons, tornadoes, and thunderstorms, all you need is strategic location, preferable a higher elevated area, and knowledge of geographical direction because this hazard form and travel in the atmosphere is easy to see and detect them from afar.